big view. Come down and see me in Boyle. They didn't like the idea that much. So let me refer back. When we were together last, we were talking about weighted averages. When do you have to use weighted averages? We were talking about averages in general yesterday. When do you have to use weighted ones versus just adding up and dividing by how many you got? Do you remember the difference when you have to use one versus the other?
When it's given in group form.
When you have that little bit less precision. Like, for example, yesterday in class, I think this was our data. Once we finally fixed it, it's still not fixed. Stupid thing. It should be 7. But anyway, when you have data given to you like this, you have to make certain assumptions about the data. All you know, let me ignore that more. You know you have 18 people that have between 3 and 5 keys. So you don't know how many 3s, how many 4s, and how many 5s. So what you do is you assume 6 of them had 3, 6 of them had 4, and 6 of them had 5, which averages to 4. So you just pick the middle of each of the bars. As statisticians, and this is not a huge part of this class, it becomes more of a deal in 244. If you're setting up graphs like this from raw data, you want to make sure these bars are relatively even to not misconstrue any information. Like I've seen some graphs that go from like 0 to 10, 10, 11, 11 to 25, 25 to 30, and they're all different widths. I don't know why people would do that. It's kind of misleading unintentionally and stupidly. So you want to be careful about setting the graphs up. You guys had to do it in 105, I made you do it in 105 in that very last project. But if it comes to that in your research and your careers, just make sure you're honest in the even distribution of those. But the idea is you do lose some precision as soon as you do that, yes? But what did we learn about our calculations? How did they compare compared to the true values on the raw data? They did pretty damn good, didn't they? Was it random that they did pretty damn good? No. Now, you can't possibly know that because you saw one data set analyzed both ways. But, so what I decided to do, and we're going to do this a lot in this class, I set up a little Excel spreadsheet for you. Let me make this fill the screen. That's a little too big. Let's go 75%. See how that looks. Can you see everything you need to see-ish? Raw data groups. That's almost perfect. I think we can make that work. So very often in Math 243, I like to use computer simulations to replicate experiments. Because what that allows us to do is it allows us to see a result, if there is a result, a meaningful one, show itself over and over and over again. We just saw one result in class last time, which was if we group your keys and do the average that way, that was close to the average when they were not grouped. But that's like seeing a coin flipped 5 times and getting 5 heads and being like, oh my God, that coin is fixed. You didn't see enough data. You need to see it more times to derive some kind of a pattern from it. So what I like to do quite often in here is use spreadsheets, in particular Excel. I'll have you guys doing your own on these by the time the course is over.